Let's set heat number 2 for you with Ryan Newman, Cruz Pedregon, Dave Blaney, Kenny Schrader. Tony Stewart will start 5th, then Joey Logano, Matt Kenseth, Kenny Wallace, and Tony Kanaan.
If you go back to that first heat race, obviously what helped Casey Kane was starting on the outside of the front row. Now you've got Pedregon on the outside, Newman on the inside, but we keep talking about Dave Blaney in that 66 car outside the second row.
Yeah, there's a couple of cars here I think we need to keep an eye on. 66 Blaney, and certainly Tony Stewart there in the 14 down the inside. But I bet that 39 car of Newman, I bet he gets down in that corner and puts a slide job on the 75 and takes the lead.
Well, we're about to find out. Lights are still on the pace truck as we are in heat race number 2 here in the Gillette Fusion Pro Glide Prelude to the Dream. The 6th annual running of this event, what it has grown into. $2.5 million raised for charity over the last 5 years. Lights out on the pace truck. Next time by at this beautiful half-mile dirt oval at Eldora will be going green in heat race number 2.
I tell you what, Cruz Pedregon, he may only actually race in one dirt race a year, but talking to him and listening to him a while ago, he obviously puts a lot of effort with a lot of testing getting ready for this race.
And he has run the Chili Bowl before also, guys, and he is serious about this. I mean, he and Caps really take these events seriously.
There's a word that defines all these guys. They're racers.
Yep.
They just want to race. They don't care what kind of car or where it is.
Well, we're going to find out if Cruz can hold off Blaney, who is right behind him. Cruz in the 75, Blaney in the 66, but it'll be that Army car leading them to the green flag as they come out of turn number 4. Heat number 2 is green.
Cruz Pedregon got a good run off turn 4. Let's see if Newman can do it. There's that run of Pedregon off 2 on the high side.
And look at the 9 car going underneath. Kenny Schrader trying to get underneath. Smoking, he does.
Yeah, Blaney in that 66, he tried to really dive it into turn 3 and 4 that time. Car wouldn't stick, but boy, look at him on the bottom in that 66.
That bottom is going to come in.
Blaney does the slide job, but then Schrader just tucks right back underneath him. And here we go again. These two are putting on a great show. Tony Stewart cannot make up any ground. Blaney's going to be on the low side again. Can't get it done.
I believe that the 14 car Tony Stewart, they got a little more work to do on that thing. I believe he heard it there in that heat race, and they may not have it exactly right yet.
I think you're dead right, Darrell, as we continue here.
Whoa! Kenseth was around the bottom, and he just slid right across the nose of Logano.
I like that.
Can't get any closer without touching. Joey loses ground now as we go on board.
And Kenseth in that 17, he had been about driving through the infield till he cleared Logano.
Things have sort of stretched out a little bit now as Ryan Newman continues to lead Cruz Pedregon. Kenny Schrader now 3rd.
But I really think if you look at Cruz Pedregon in that 75, that's a pretty impressive run from the outside of the front row there.
Halfway through this 10-lap heat race number 2.
And one thing I'm noticing just watching the lap times, this seems to be a slower heat race than that first heat race.
Hey guys, I got a surprise for you. Tony Kanaan is not running last in this heat race. All of our attention's been towards the front, but watch a little bit further back. Kanaan is actually leading Kenny Wallace.
And Kenny Wallace, they've been fighting something with the engine, with the carburetor throughout all the practice, qualifying, the whole time they've been here today.
Yeah, but I just like the progress Kanaan has made, Marty. He has really picked this up in a very short period of time. Even though he's not challenging for the lead, he's back here doing a nice job.
A lot better than a lot of people thought, as there is your race leader, Ryan Newman. 2 laps to go now here in this 10-lap heat race number 2. Cruz Pedregon doing a solid job in 2nd place. 3rd is nailed down by Kenny Schrader. Dave Blaney is 4th.
Yeah, even though Ryan Newman has put a lot of distance on Cruz Pedregon, just watching the lap times, he's only about a 10th off of the leader, Ryan Newman.
1 lap remaining, and Ryan Newman can put it on cruise control at this point, and that's not a joke or a pun for Cruz Pedregon. Here he comes out of turn number 4. Ryan Newman takes heat race number 2. Across the line 2nd will be the 75 of Cruz Pedregon, then Kenny Schrader, Dave Blaney, Tony Stewart, Matt Kenseth, Joey Logano, and here they come, the final 2, Tony Kanaan and Kenny Wallace.
I think Tony Stewart, after this little heat race, will say, boys, we need to work on the track.
And he very well may be out there working on it. That was quite a battle for third, guys, with Schrader and with Blaney, and even with Tony Stewart sticking his nose in there.
So heat race number 2 of 3 is now in the books. And there is your winner, with Ryan Newman heading for the scales. Thumbs up, he's A-OK. Here are the unofficial results. Take a look again, everything color-coded as far as the team battle would be in this heat race number 2. Again, no points awarded for the team championship. Just gives you an idea of where each team is shaking out.
That pretty much represents parity right there. There was no dominant color anywhere.
And there are the team colors so that you can tell them better. Just jot them down. St. Jude, Levine, Riley, and Cincinnati.
I think the last time, or one of the last times that Ryan Newman drove this race car for this group was over at Charlotte Motor Speedway, the dirt track there.
He said that earlier.
And he had a horrendous crash, probably one of the worst they said they'd ever seen in one of these cars.
Upside down and everything else.
Turned it over. So good redemption tonight so far.
Well, Ryan looks pretty happy with the way heat race number 2 went, and Tony Kanaan should be very happy. I don't think anybody would have expected him to even finish ahead of anybody else in a heat race.
I think that's why you come in here and you're always kind of shocked and amazed. There are no expectations. I mean, you know, just getting around this joint is pretty good.
Is Kenny Wallace going to take a little heat and a little rubbing from everybody because the open wheeler guy came over and smoked him here in the heat?
More than likely, they'll say, look, race car driver, that other race car driver outran you.
All right, let's send it down to Matt.
And Ryan Newman took the win. So that was 10 laps. You've got to run 30 in the feature. So how much do you need to adjust this car for the extra 20-lap run?
That's up to Steve Francis and these guys. I'm going to need to put a little, if it stays that tacky, I'm going to need to put a little padding in the right side headrest. But that was a good starting spot, obviously, which paid off because we have a good car. But I don't know exactly where we're going to start in the feature, so we'll see what we can do for passing.
And he also picks up $2,000 for the Ryan Newman Foundation from the folks at IMAS. Steve?
Well, I'm going to sneak in here and get a word with Tony Kanaan. TK, I give you the most improved award without a doubt, but I hope you are having as much fun driving as we are watching. You look like you're having a blast out there.
I mean, I'm not kidding. It's probably one of the most fun days of my racing career, and I don't care where I'm running or position or anything. I'm just having a blast, Steve, and I can't thank you guys enough for having me here. Hopefully the fans are enjoying as much as I do.
Well, we're really excited TK's here. It's stars like him that really make this event, guys.
And the fans are enjoying it as much as he is. I guarantee you, it's over 23,000 expected to be here tonight. As we get ready now for heat race number 3, it'll be Jeff Gordon on point with Justin Allgaier alongside. And there you see Eric Almirola and Kyle Busch in row 2. Then A.J. Allmendinger, David Rudiman, Marcus Ambrose, Denny Hamlin, and Ron Capps.
For a kid that grew up in Owensboro, Kentucky, on the other side of the Ohio River, this is kind of like a flashback. This is like the old days. This is like going to a Saturday night short track dirt race somewhere, and all the people sitting on the dirt bank. I saw some guys grilling and kind of tailgating when we came in. People been here since yesterday, going to be here till the weekend for the actual the Dream. So this is a cool event. This always just gets me so fired up.
Darryl, did you pick up on what Ryan Newman said? You talked about the G-forces going through these corners. He said, I may have to put more padding on my right headrest.
Yeah, it's funny. I picked up on that too, Larry, because you do work really hard. We've seen that with some of the end cars. You're left, right, working those arms. And, of course, there is a lot of side bite in these cars.
Well, we're lapping at an average speed of between 106 and 108 miles an hour. That's a lot of G loading.
Yeah, plus that's got to be at least 125 or 30 mile an hour down that short straightaway back there into the corner, so really throws you around in the seat.
Well, we always talk about the speeds at Bristol. This place is about the same size at Bristol, not quite the banking that Bristol has, but the lap times are pretty close.
And remember, they don't have any of these carbon fiber $10,000 seats in these cars.
Yeah, that's true. Did you see the sunset, as it is just a beautiful evening after a lot of morning rain?
That shrouding you see there around the front of the driver there, that's all he has to keep dirt from really getting all over his shield and blocking his vision, but it does turn it up out of his face.
And that is Jeff Gordon, as you see a different view as they come out at turn number 4. Green flag in the air, and we are racing again.
Boy, Gordon got a good start on Allgaier. He's going to try to hopefully slide up in front of him, but there comes Allgaier.
Go, Justin, go!
Allgaier with a great high side to low side move, and now here comes the slide job right back.
But look at this 18 car of Kyle Busch driving against the inside wall.
This is a great heat race right here. And I knew Algar. Perhaps watched him in practice. He is so aggressive.
Remember, Kyle would give us
Gordon hard in the wall.
Kyle would not give us his strategy. He's running that low line. Now he goes up high, and Gordon's in the wall again.
Oh, yeah, he's cut down the right rear tire, done a lot of damage to the right side of that car.
So Gordon going in the wrong direction. He's already been passed now by Denny Hamlin and A.J. Allmendinger as well. He's still sliding backwards. That's Eric Almirola coming up on him now on the 15.
Now Kyle Busch in that 18 car at the front, he has moved to the high side, trying to run that 12 down. I think he's reeling him in just a little bit.
The guy that's got a pretty good chance of winning the Dream here on Saturday night.
Well, Algar's in the wall.
He's in the wall. He just jumped a cushion. I don't know if he hurt it or not. Let's see.
Yeah, he got the right rear.
Got a bit of damage.
Got a little bit of damage. Doesn't seem to be slowing him down, though. Last lap was 17.1. His best lap was 16.9.
Yeah, he's losing a little.
Oh, yeah, here comes Kyle.
Kyle's on him. Once Kyle gets that close to you, you're in bad shape. You're in big trouble, boys.
5 laps to go. This has been the best heat race we've had up front. Kyle is running the low line. He's been the only guy we've been seeing tonight that's really been successful.
Algar got it again, man. He is wearing that wall out.
But Kyle Busch knows the only way he can pass him is go to the bottom. He's running out of time, though. He's about to get him.
I like that bottom, but it's going to be hard to slide. You're going to have to put a slide job on him if he gets him.
Boy, he had to jump out of the throttle that time.
Here he comes. He's driving down in there. Let's see what he can do. Is he going to come up in front of him right here? Is he going to make it?
And at the line, it was Kyle Busch, officially the race leader.
But look at the run. Allgaier gets off turn 2. I think Busch will get him down here in 3 and 4. That's the weak link on Allgaier. Now Kyle Busch goes to the high side.
Yeah, but the Allgaier car went to the bottom that time. Can he slide up in front of Kyle? No!
And now he's lost the lead.
No.
He changed his strategy. Now he's going to have to try and figure out if he can get back.
No. I think Allgaier's toast now.
Bad decision. I think he's got a little problem. He's hit the wall about 5 times.
White flag this time by, and it looks like Kyle Busch is going to end up coming from the middle of the pack all the way to take this heat race number 3. Allgaier second. Allmendinger's now moved up. David Rudeman also in the mix as well as they're fighting each other for 3rd and 4th.
Kyle Busch, he goes to the bottom.
He goes where, Larry, he's like he does every week. He goes wherever he wants to. 3 wide, all by himself.
So it is Kyle Busch, then Justin Allgaier, A.J. Allmendinger, the 00 of David Rudeman, the 11 of Denny Hamlin, 28 of Ron Capps, the 15 of Eric Almirola, and then Jeff Gordon. Remember, he started on the front row, and he is ending up way back in this field.
A lot of damage to that 24 car. He hit the wall hard.
And Marcus Ambrose rounds out the 9 cars in this heat race to number 3.
Darrell, you know what I noticed in that race right there? The track started losing some of the black, and I saw more dust that time than we did the first 2 heat races.
Hey guys, I just got word, Dick Berger, and you've got some breaking news down in pit road.
Oh boy, do we. One of the biggest stories of the night. Casey Kane, after winning that first heat, the engine is broken. They have just unloaded a backup car. You looked at the seat. Are you going to fit in this thing?
Looks pretty good. I guess I'll have to. These guys are, Eric Jacobson. This is his dream car. I have no idea why he's letting me drive it tonight, but it's pretty cool that he is. Appreciate that. And it's got a decent number on the door, so I think it'll be pretty good.
Watch out behind you. Kyle Busch is about to back into both of us.
Hey, I love it. That's a pretty good looking car. Got a decent number on the door. I guess that's all that matters.
Well, and he's making a great point. I mean, here's Eric Jacobson. This is his car for the Dream, which is $100,000 to win this weekend right here at this track, and he's rolling it out.
Incredible, though. Last year here in the Prelude, he had the same thing, engine trouble.
Let's go back to this action. This was the best action we had up front in all 3 of the heat races. Couldn't get it done on this particular lap, and then Allgaier made one critical decision that cost him.
He made a big mistake, Allgaier did. I think he had this thing in the bag until he decided to go down low, thinking that would take Kyle Busch's line away from him. Kyle said, I go where I want.
And the scary part, Larry, what it shows is Kyle can run high or low.
And I think that was part of his plan that he was talking about. There's Gordon, Jeff Gordon, who hit the wall several times in that 24 car.
Yeah, he hurt that car.
Here's the view from outside.
These cars are pretty fragile when it comes to the front suspension, and they've got all kind of springs and shocks and things up on the back of them. So I think he did a little damage to that baby.
And you can see the guys working on it.
So Kyle Busch actually becomes the first guy to win a heat race that didn't start on the front row.
So Kyle also, as we mentioned, proves that he can run high, he can run low, and that is scary for everybody else.
He did everything but drive through the infield.
He can run dirt, he can run asphalt, he can run whatever he wants.
Matt, let's talk to him.
Well, Bloomquist cars won the first and third heats. You just talked to the legend behind you about your heat race. What'd you tell him, and what insight did he give you for the feature?
Just that, you know, the line that we were running was pretty good, you know, down on the bottom. These cars like the bottom, so. I mean, I ran the top to try to run down to 12. He got in the fence a little bit, ruined the spoiler, so I just got up to him there, and then he saw me on the bottom, took my lanes, I just motored by him on the top. But it's fun, man. These things are so cool. I love it, and can't thank NOS enough, M&M's, Interstate, everybody, Archie Jets, so it's cool to come out here.
And it was a great battle you had going on with Allgaier.
It was. I don't know where the rest of the field was, but, you know, me and Allgaier, I knew that just if I could get a run on him, you know, it's hard to run up on a guy because the way the air is with these cars, we're on dirt, but the air is pretty important, and that's why I just trying to run every different lane. But it was pretty cool the way I could run up on him. Once I got to him, I got it.
All right, and Kyle, by the way, for the Kyle Busch Foundation, $2,000 presented from the good folks at IMUS. Steve?
Well, I have caught up with the other half of that battle. Justin Allgaier here standing outside his car. Justin, you had a great car there, tried some different grooves. Did you think you learned something for the feature which might work better, the top or the bottom?
Well, I think so. You know, these guys give me a great car. It's just unfortunate we got beat. You know, Kyle's a heck of a wheelman. I'm tired of following him, but, you know, it's unfortunate we got in the fence there and got the spoiler knocked off of it a little bit and just didn't have the drive that we needed. And I think that's one of the biggest things for the feature is trying to figure out how to put drive in the car but not tighten it up too much. And should have a good car. I don't know where we're going to end up starting, but we're going to have a lot of fun. And I just got to thank these guys. Dwayne Hottinger, he let me run his car, and it's been a lot of fun, and Verizon's on board, so we're having a good time.
You know, it's awful funny, guys. With no mirrors in the car, he definitely knew what lane Kyle Busch was running and seemed to move down there. I don't know if maybe that's a spotter playing into account or if we're going to see that more in the later night.
And here we take a look at the unofficial results. And again, you can tell by the color coding where these teams shake out. And Justin Allgaier representing Riley Hospital, so everybody in the yellow. You can see they had a pretty good run there, and there is the code again. And of course, Team Levine also looking good with Kyle Busch winning here in heat race number 3.